So I'm back at the courthouse again, filing paperwork again. I still haven't seen the kids since March of this year. It is now September. So that is more than 6 months of denied visitation, even though I have an existing ruling that says I am supposed to see the kids twice a week. So that's half a year, 25, 26, 27 times 2. That's 54 visitation violations, not including the visitation violations via the video chats, which have been denied to me. I was denied a video chat today. I'm supposed to have video chats with the kids Tuesdays and Thursdays. That was denied as well today by the defendant. So I come down to the courthouse today and I said, yeah, let me file this. I got to file an ex parte because I haven't seen them in 6 months. And if I just file regular, it's going to be another 6 weeks. Obviously, I want to see the kids sooner than that. It's already been 6 months. I don't want to wait another 6 weeks to get the visitation that's already been ruled in my favor. And they said, well, you can't. I said, okay, you can file. You can just drop it in the bin. That's the bin right there. They want me to drop all of my paperwork that I spent money copying and printing down at Kinko's and time printing up and, bought the envelope and filled out the forms and all that, and they want me to just dump it in that bin. And they say, oh yeah, it's going to go over to the other courthouse. No problem. Don't worry. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. But I did that in April, and they denied my order because they said I didn't pay. So I said, so how can I pay today? And they said, well, you can't pay until you file. And I said, well, I filed in April, and there was no way to pay because I had to file in the stupid bin. And there was no way to pay. There's not a cashier out here by the bin saying, oh, we'll just take your money. So then they denied my order in April because I didn't pay. Willing to pay, have money to pay, got a job, happy to pay. Payment is not a problem for me. You shouldn't have to pay to see your kids, of course. You shouldn't have to pay to hold somebody liable for the orders that they're already violating. But if the payment is the barrier, I'm willing to just plow through that barrier by throwing money at it. That's not a problem. However, there's no way to pay. And I was here at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They don't close till 4:15, so I was here with an hour to spare. Filled out all the paperwork, went to go see the lady, knocked on the window, had to stand in another line, had to argue with the sheriff's deputy about wearing a mask because there's no medical exemption in our legal field. So if you suffocate and die wearing a mask, that's just their policy. That's fine. And after all of that rigmarole, I am now outside the courthouse, have not paid, and have not filed. Because I can't file, because if I do, they'll just say that it's denied because I didn't pay. And I can't pay because I haven't filed. So, so there it is. I'm coming back tomorrow. The lady at the documents counter assured me that tomorrow I'll be able to pay. But again, I have to come back to the courthouse again tomorrow morning in order to pay. Which means I'll have to come and have an argument with the deputy again about wearing the stupid mask that there's no efficacy for, no scientific efficacy for whatsoever. And then I'll be able to pay. Then I'll be able to file. Then I'll be able to pay for what I filed for. This is the situation in 2020. Now, anybody intelligent would look at this and go, well, how did it get to this situation? How did somebody get to the point where it's been 3 years since they've had regular visitation or custody, and they are unable to see their children? They are being denied access to their children. They have committed no criminal acts whatsoever. They have had no history of drug or alcohol abuse. They have had no history of violence against anybody. And yet they're stuck going to the courthouse again and again and again, filing paperwork again and again and again, paying money again and again and again. Well, that's just the situation in 2020. We've made these no-fault divorce laws. We've made it impossible for fathers, generally fathers. 80% of custody battles go in favor of the woman. So now you know. So just, if you're a man, just don't file for divorce. Don't sign the divorce papers. Because the second you sign the divorce papers or file for divorce, you are going to be powerless to have any opportunity to take care of your children in any way. The state will rip your children from your lives and give them to the woman, regardless of who was cheating on who, of who was addicted to drugs, of who was drunk every night, of who has DUIs. None of that matters to the state. They say it matters. If you look at the actual law, it mentions all those things specifically as mitigating factors that would have them rule on one way or the other for in a custody case, but they actually don't. None of those things matter. It's, are you a woman, are you a man? If you're a woman, you have an 80% chance of winning. If you're a man, you only have a 10% chance of winning. The other 10% goes to foster homes, grandparents. It's a situation where neither the mother or the father can have custody of the children. So here I am, full 3 years later. Visitation orders I've had the entire time. The entire time. I've never not had a visitation ruling that said I had at least partial custody. Never. Because there's no grounds for it. And yet 3 years later, I'm still down at the courthouse trying to file, trying to pay money just to see my own children. 3 years later. No history of violence, no history of criminal acts, no history of drug or alcohol abuse, nothing. Walking in the sun, because there's no parking downtown, so you gotta walk everywhere. Walking in the sun, that's why I'm wearing the hat, trying to keep the sun off. Unable to file, unable to pay to file 3 years later. So, if you're a man, do not marry an American woman, ever. And if you do not file for divorce, do not sign divorce papers.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in a sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a